back when I was dating, women were not particularly politically interested. They weren't like active in it. But nowadays it seems like every woman has got so many like opinions. And so
all right, what up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. So today I'm going to be reacting to Alexander Grace, one of the OG content creators in the red pill space. If you guys like his stuff, subscribe in the link below. But today we are reacting to a title called Young Guys Are So Screwed. And I want to know why this guy thinks young guys are screwed. So let's hear it, Alexander.
call this video like "You Young Guys Are Screwed" or something like that. So you can tell I'm not in my office. I'm staying at this resort. I'm in Fiji at the moment.
All right, that looks pretty good. What's going on?
Sunsets just gone on. And I came on this holiday just to get some sun. It's Australian winter at the moment, and do some snorkeling. I love snorkeling. And the coral here has been beautiful. The reef's incredible. But I didn't expect it to be so social. I've sort of eaten dinner every single night with various travelers from around the world and lots of women. And that has given me a new insight into what you young guys are dealing with out there in the dating market. And it's rough. I thought I might just talk through some of the stuff that I've seen. I've got my notes here. So the first is that the women, they're so overweight. I don't know what the politically correct term is to say it, but you would think, or I would think, that between like 18 and 25, that would be when you'd want to be like in really good shape. It is astounding to me how many women are just so chunky. Like, you think, come to Fiji, go to a beach resort, there'll be lots of, women in bikinis, great. No, man, you don't want to look like, it's rough. It's rough. I've also noticed that there's a lot of single women.
Yeah, so women like eating more than they like men. And I want you guys to, I want you to understand this isn't personal, right? I've said this before. We don't like each other. We don't like ourselves. We're insecure. Like, it has nothing to do with the men, but everything to do with us. We're like hateful creatures. So of course we hate you guys too. And, but what we do love is a Big Mac from McDonald's. Let's face it, our generation is in a testosterone crisis thanks to modern lifestyle, poor diet, and environmental toxins. Low testosterone can sabotage your health and vitality. Reclaim your edge and bring your levels back to where they belong so you can live stronger, healthier, and with purpose. That's where Man's Edge from Neutronics Labs comes in. The powerful formula combines 4 clinically proven ingredients: fenugreek, IGF-1, NO2, and Tongkat Ali to ignite your body's own testosterone factory. Studies show fenugreek, along with IGF-1 and other clinically backed ingredients in Man's Edge, can help boost your testosterone up by 46%. Plus, Man's Edge patented liposome delivery has up to 98% absorption, far better than your typical powders or pills. So you can actually feel the difference. Right now, you can save 50% on all orders when you auto ship and use my code PEARL. Get the edge today and don't settle for anything less. Visit getmansedge.com and reclaim your vitality today. Starbucks, a latte, that's like 500 calories. So yeah. I mean, when people are fat, they're basically saying, I like eating more than I like sex. That's the message that they're sending, right? I prefer to eat than I prefer the opposite gender, which is fine, right? And I think more power. It's better that women are ruining their own lives than yours, fellas. I mean, that's really how we got to look at it. I mean, your grandfathers, your fathers, they had women ruin their life, where now women just ruin our own lives before we have the chance to ruin yours too. You're welcome.
That travel, very few single men. I don't know, I might fact check when I get home whether or not single women are more likely to be traveling than single guys. Part of me thinks that there must just be men at home who know that.
Yeah, by the way, what I've heard from some of my guy friends that stay in hostels, if you like to hook up with hot girls all over the world that travel, it's a great place, because you have to understand women are very reputation guarded. So the more you guys can appease women's want to save our reputation, the more laid you get, right? So, there's some guys that are smart. They live next to like hostels or places women are traveling. If women are traveling, that's when women like to, throw it back because there's no consequence,
They can't afford.
If she does it in her friend group, she's got to think, oh, he might tell her, or she might tell him, If she throws it back in another country, you're never going to know.
To spend money on travel, and so they're just working hard and they're grinding. But the resort is completely filled with single women, either traveling by themselves or in like groups of women. And all of them are progressive in their politics. Now, most people are going to have some conservative policy positions, some progressive. I'm not saying that that's necessarily indicative, but I mean, I'm never going to start a conversation or hopefully steer a conversation towards Donald Trump. Why are so many European women like talking to me, a complete stranger, about this? Like, why are so many of us?
I know, because I think there's something wrong with us. We love the drama. I love talking about how women shouldn't. I can't say that. I can't say it out loud, but it's a very weird thing to do. I'm kind of weird, so it's kind of like, eh. But yeah, I get it. It's the most fun thing ever. The difference though is that, you got to know your audience. So you kind of got to know what people you can bring stuff like that up with. And it's really other women. Cause I'm guessing he's talking about the abortion and whatever, Trump, blah, blah, blah.
Conversations about politics. Back when I was dating, women were not particularly politically interested. They weren't like active in it. But nowadays it seems like every woman has got so many like opinions, and so heaps of conversations about politics. I always found it was a good way to get out of any conversation, to just end it, as if I start talking about my daughter, something about me talking about my kids. Nobody has like any follow-up questions. As far as I can tell, none of these women are interested in having children of their own. That's not where their priorities are. It is interesting in the conversations how one-sided they are. I don't know if it's just a general conversational skill deficit that young people have, but I always ask like the questions. Like it feels like I'm always directing the conversation, Somebody will say something and I've got like 5 ideas in my mind of like, oh, I could ask them about this and ask them about that. And so I have like long conversations with people, but I can end a conversation that's been going for over an hour and I'm thinking, I don't think they know my name. I don't think they know anything about me. For whatever reason, these people, these young women, they just seem so content to talk about themselves. Just, like he's asking me questions and talking about myself and my life. That seems completely natural. It's like it doesn't occur to them to ask questions either. The exception to that I will find in the demographic of women that I have really enjoyed speaking to, and that
Asian women
is women inside relationships. So I've chatted with a number of couples as well, and that's been enjoyable. But another interesting phenomenon is there's also been a number of women who have traveled without their boyfriends. Like they've left their boyfriends at home. I don't know why he's happy for her to go on a,
He's not happy, but sometimes the guys just like accept it,
luxury Fiji holiday. And he has to stay home. But even so, the women who have boyfriends at home, I have consistently found to be much more pleasant to interact with, which unfortunately I feel like is confirmation of what I've said in my videos before, which is that a lot of the good women, they're already taken. They've already been.
You might as well just steal someone else's girlfriend. Look, if I was a guy, that's what I would do. Yeah.
And snatched out of the dating market. For the single women, man, it's slim pickings. Like, man, you young guys, gosh, like if you find a good woman, like you like her and she treats you well and the two of you have similar values, don't blow it. Don't just expect there to just be a huge amount of like options on the.
Well, the challenge is with the good women, they have such a line of men that are ready to step up and, be next. That it's like it almost inflates those women's egos too. We're all cooked.
Dating market. I don't think that I don't think you're going to be happy with what you find based on what I've seen in this trip. And of the men, although one beneficial thing I'll say is that of the single guys that I have seen out here on this holiday, is they have no game. Like, if I think that the young women are terrible at like conversation, the young guys are just absolutely shocking.
Do you know what? I have not found young guys to be bad at conversation. I know everyone says that. I'd say maybe they're bad at flirting. I could see that, but like when I think of my little brother, his friends, my sister, their guy friend, like they're usually pretty respectful. Like, I don't know. I always hear so much trash talked about Gen Z men. And I don't know if I'm going crazy, but when I've met Gen Z men in real life, most of them are pretty driven. A lot of them live at home, I found, to save money on rent. But usually, like, they save money on rent, but it's because they're saving for a house or saving for something. So, yeah.
You know, you can sit next to them and they have no idea what to say, how to talk to people. So insular and just sort of sticking with their like male friends that they've come with. I haven't interacted with that many men because there's not that many guys out on holiday, it seems. But the ones that I have, I'm thinking, guys, if you learn just basic seduction and flirting, just a few like lines and games and tricks, you're going to be able to do better than so many of these other guys. They've just got nothing going for them. And the other thing that I'll probably say I've taken away from this is confirmation of that demographic of women that I've always enjoyed speaking with, which is the ones that are a lot older or the ones that are very, very young. My favorite interaction was with a couple where the guy was 19 and the woman was just 18. And they'd been together like 2 years, but like really interested, asking me questions, going back and forth, spoke to them lots. And then some of the older women who kind of like my mum's age, they're so open as well. They're like asking me what I've done for the day and where I've been hiking and how the snorkeling was. It's that kind of middle demographic of women that just seems to be so difficult to interact with.
Yeah, it's because we've been treated like celebrities. You know what I mean? Like, we've been treated like a celebrity. So, yeah. Now,
none of this is to say that any of my conversations have been anything less than pleasant. I've spoken a lot about psychology, about culture, dating, relationships. And I think that I've converted many of them into being sort of allies of like men's rights, you know, if the conversation goes that way. You know, I've had these kind of conversations lots of times before, so I'm well practiced at this stage. And it's quite amusing. I might make a separate video on the kind of conversations that you can have that might be beneficial. But anyway.
None of them. I'm black-pilled. None of the conversations are beneficial.
Just some more raw data for me. And for you young guys who have not yet found your partner and you're still trying to find a quality woman amongst the kind of selection that's out there, I'm sorry. I really hope you find a good one.
Yeah, you're cooked. But the best thing you can do is just be outcome independent. And that's really, I think that's the best part about getting older. When you're younger, you're so focused on like outcomes and you think if you don't get this, you know, you won't be happy, whatever. But when you become outcome independent and you just think whatever happens, that's when you become happy. Because then nobody can affect your happiness. It has to do with you. It doesn't matter what other people do. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching as usual, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.